Hi, Panda here. In this video we're going to tell you the 5 games we're looking forward to most from the Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcase, so let's check them out. Blanc is a very beautiful black and white, sort of cel shaded with like a stencil look to it. It's a co-op game, you can play it locally or online. I'm really looking forward to this because I've enjoyed games like Brothers, and there's a few other games where you play a story about 2 different characters. In this case we've got a fawn and a wolf in this nice wintry environment. There's no text, so it's a textless story, so you get all your information and storytelling from the environment, and I really enjoyed games that do that, a bit like the Unravel series, and Unravel 2 had co-op as well, and that was really good. So I think the combination of the beautiful look, the atmosphere, the environment, the puzzles, as long as the puzzles don't get too complicated, I think this will be a nice adventure to journey through. And these games are the ones I kind of like pick up and play again because of like how easy and accessible they are, but how like beautiful they are to play, a bit like Journey and Brothers. So this one is definitely high on my list. It's been a while since I played a 2-player co-op adventure game like this, so this is definitely on my list to play. Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope is a sequel to Mario & Rabbids, now which is a game I'm currently still playing through, so I haven't quite finished it yet, but I'm already looking forward to seeing some more. As soon as I finish the first one, I'm definitely looking forward to this. They've added some new things. There's new character Sparks, there's a new location, there's more free-flowing of running about and bumping into enemies, causing these turn-based battles to begin. And also, in the turn-based battles, you have like an area where you can run to, but yeah, there's more free-flowing you run to. It's not like I'm going to click on this grid and your character automatically runs there. There's definitely more manual control over where the character goes. So you could like run and hit like 3 enemies with a melee attack, then go and hide behind a rock. So I'm interested to see how much that changes it, because the first one was very XCOM style, like hey, click behind this cover, I'm going to hide behind this cover, choose which enemy. So the free flow thing looks cool. I'm a little bit concerned that that might take a little bit away from it, but I'm hoping they've tweaked it. But overall it looks really good. The presentation here is great, everything looks colourful, funny, everything you kind of expect from a Mario & Rabbids game. And there aren't too many of these turn-based games, especially one that's more colourful and light-hearted and not quite as dark and grim as like XCOM. So I'm definitely looking forward to that aspect, and it's nice to have a turn-based game on the Switch as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's nice to see Mario in different formats as well, just in case you don't want another platformer, and it has been quite a few years since we've had the first one, so this is definitely one for your turn-based fans out there. Railgrade is definitely a game designed for train fans, people who love trains. This game looks amazing. You get to construct your own railway system. It kind of has like a Factorio vibe to it, or a Satisfactory vibe, building all the tracks. You've got different trains, you're taking resources from place to place. Just how many trains and how much track overlaying and different things looks amazing. Now, it doesn't quite show what happens like if you've got a track that goes across, or if there's going to be collisions, so I wonder how much you're going to have to decide. Now, I've played quite a few different train games because I really like trains, but I still haven't quite found one that hits the right spot, but this could be the one. A lot of ones are either like more puzzle based, and I kind of enjoy it until they make the puzzles too hard, or others are a bit too open and too concentrated on the economy, and you find like, oh no, I've ran out of money. Like I've played another PC one, I built tracks so far, and it was like, oh, you've ran out of money. I'm like, great, I've got half a railway here. So it is hard to find the right balance with these type of train tycoon building games, but I think this one could be the train tycoon game to ride. I'll definitely be checking this one, and maybe I'll choose it for Nintendo Switch. Square Enix's Harvest Stella is definitely Final Fantasy crossed with Story of Seasons. So basically it has a very Final Fantasy look and feel to it, but you also are farming and growing crops. So there's definitely a mixture here. So that's the Story of Seasons kind of vibe. There's crops, it has the usual like here's the grid sort of layout. There's a town with villagers, then you go off and explore, and it becomes a bit more Final Fantasy here. You go and defeat monsters nearby, so I'm guessing try to like protect the village, it's kind of like the vibe, or getting more resources, But then I thought, oh, maybe it's a bit like that. We've had similar farming games before where you're like doing some crops and you go out and battle some monsters, a bit like Rune Factory. But then there's a classic Final Fantasy, oh, the world's gonna end, which I do love. I know it seems like a bit of a trope, but these Final Fantasy stories are always over the top, but somehow really good and enjoyable for what they are. So I feel like my love of Final Fantasy story seasons coming together is going to be great. And I feel like there's quite a lot of story from what we could tell from the trailer, and I thought, oh, that's something that might keep you going. If it was just like, here's a farming sim with a bit of a Final Fantasy look to it, you kind of might lose a bit of rhythm and flow to it, but I think the story is going to make you keep going. And I think the mixture of going out to battle monsters, doing some harvesting, will really break up anything feeling repetitive. So that really helps, because I've played quite a few of these different games, and if it focuses too much on one thing, it can really like get far too repetitive, like, I don't really want to keep playing this, or not play it as often. So I feel like these type of games, the more different activities or type of things you can do, it keeps the flow, keeps you more engaged. And to be honest, I think the fighting actually looks really good. This is kind of like what I expect from like a modern Final Fantasy game. It kind of had vibes of Final Fantasy VII Remake or Final Fantasy 15. So, and those are some of my favourite combats in Final Fantasy in modern times. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more of this. This is very high on my list, and I do love a good Final Fantasy game, so this has Square Enix vibe all over it, and I'm always down for some more Square Enix. Sonic Frontiers is definitely something very unusual and not what you expect from a Sonic game. Sonic has gone full open world here. It shows this large sort of countryside, mountainy area. Sonic can dash wherever he goes, he can jump on grind rails, he climbs like towers. I'm guessing these are like towers to view more of the range of the landscape, a bit like you do in Breath of the Wild and other open world games. There are mentions in some more materials online that you can go to like different zones a little bit more on the traditional Sonic side, like vibe, like Green Hill Zone, that have more of that look to it. Because I was a bit concerned this might just have a generic countryside look. It does look very nice. I do love the speed. Now this is one thing that is definitely missing from other open world games. The speed Sonic goes at through this environment is amazing. And I want to give credit to the Sonic team for risking it and doing something a little bit different with Sonic. Because I've enjoyed the last few 3D, sort of like 2.5D Sonic games, but they haven't made a really big change in ages. And sometimes when they have, it's kind of gone terribly wrong, like Sonic Boom. But I've got my hopes up that the Sega team and Sonic team have taken their time here to really polish this and make sure they get it right, because this could be a really interesting step in the Sonic world and game series. So there you go, Sonic does Breath of the Wild. Unusual, but it could be good. So I'll keep my fingers crossed for that and hope we have an awesome speedy adventure. And I just want to give a quick shout out to some honorable mentions: Dragon Quest Treasures, Persona 3, 4 and 5, and Disney's Dreamlight Valley and Little Noah. These are all other games that kind of look interesting. They've got some different vibes going on, some old classics that are coming back, and these are definitely worth checking out. They just didn't quite make it into my top 5. So there you go, those are the 5 games we're looking forward to most from the Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcase. So many great titles, it was really hard to choose the top 5. So thank you for watching, remember to like and subscribe, hit the bell for all new videos, and we'll see you next time. Bye! And thanks to our patrons and Twitch subscribers.